Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. We lose, we win. That's the duality of man right there. Polyphemus at a start. TBH1. TBH1, PJ7C. To be honest, One Direction, that's one word in my world. Please just 7 classics. You got 6 already, just give me the 7th. I can't name 6 One Direction songs, to be honest. I could probably name a few. First off, I have to ask the obvious question, is One Direction still popular? I ask this not like, you know, I feel like especially when, that was pretty bad damage, but if somebody's in their early 20s and they want to come across as like counterculture, they go, oh, One Direction, who's that? Oh, I'm sorry. I only listen to Brian Eno's Ambient Volume 1, Music for Airports, and Aphex Twin Selected Ambient Works 2, 85 to 92, but that actually is like, it's a parody of myself. But anyway, of course I'm aware that One Direction was popular, I just don't know, because these bands sometimes, they got a long lifespan, sometimes they got a short lifespan. Is One Direction still popular? They have that song, You Don't Know You're Beautiful and That's What Makes You Beautiful. I'm well aware of that one, because I have ears and have been around a radio. And then they have, did I say You Don't Know You're Beautiful and That's What Makes You Beautiful? I did, huh? I thought they had another one which was like, hey, you're a good girl but be a bad girl in my hotel room or something like that. I can't remember. That one was like a year ago. We don't want the tick. You know what we should be doing, though, is teleporting every chance we get. Try to make this work. Anyway, I should be talking about Isaac instead of One Direction, but I have nothing against One Direction. I've got nothing for them. I mean, I've never purchased a piece of One Direction merchandise or music before in my life. Mostly, I just don't want to anger the myriad Twitter accounts that are like, Zayn Malik's #1 fan, and then, you know, they have like 300,000 followers, and are like, get him! Could be the end of my career, you know. You gotta keep in mind, you might be watching this right now, and you're like, you know, 20, 21, you could be 30, you could be 70. Is all good with me. Especially if you don't have AdBlock installed. But then beyond that, you know, you might not be a fan of my videos forever. You might seem unfathomable now. You're like, but NL, you're the funniest person I've ever met in my whole life, and you're my hero, and blah, blah. Yeah, I know, like, you're right, but at the same time, tastes change, and, you know, popularity wanes and stuff like that. I gotta, to stay fresh, I gotta continue to appeal to people who are like, you know, across the gambit of age groups. I gotta stay relevant as a 28-year-old to people who are at the present moment half my age, and I don't know how you do that. I don't know what, like, 14-year-olds are into these days, and that represents, like, a problem with my marketing, to be honest with you. Not because I necessarily want to cultivate an audience of people who are 14 years old, but because those 14-year-olds will eventually be 22, and they'll be like, I want to watch this guy who knows that XCOM Enemy Within is the best game of the last console generation. So I don't know, I gotta figure it out. I feel like I should be anti-cynical here. Like, I feel like the average person would be like, yeah, what are 14-year-olds into these days? Fidget spinners and memes, but I don't know, what are 14-year-olds into? It seems like we got a woke generation of teenagers coming up. What are you guys into? You recycling? Electric cars and solar power? Keep up the good work. See you later, you scumbag. Oh, we did it! That was actually, like, A, incredibly fast, and B, why am I fighting this guy? Fighting these guys to get Angry Fly is almost like a joke in and of itself, but there's no reason to fight them to begin with. I don't think we should do this. I'm going to finish it, but I'm just going to tell you, I don't think this is the way it should go. This run's great, by the way. I mean, I haven't really talked about it too much because we started with Polyphemus, so all of our other stats are, like, effectively irrelevant. But we're going down to the 3rd floor, 4 minutes in. We have Deal with the Devil Precedent, a decent amount of HP. We picked up Synth Oil, which is great. And, again, the Polyphemus start just buys us, like, a lot of time here. But now that you can't use Missing No or Undefined here, I mean, those are 2 different items, but they kind of have the same graphical theme, you know? Now that we can't use Undefined to to loop the chest, it's not quite as interesting. Because it carries this, like... It carries an opportunity cost whenever it actually works and gives you an error room. And that's that you could accidentally miss out on, like... Well, on this floor, we can miss out on 2 boss rooms, a potential deal with the devil, 2 item rooms, a shop, the secret rooms, etc., etc. if we teleport to an error room too early. And then an error room is not guaranteed to have an item. And if it has an item, it's certainly not guaranteed to have a good item. It's not like our item pools for error rooms are specifically fantastic or anything like that. So, at the present moment, I'm not sure how I'm going to use this item by and large, but I think we should adhere to the rules of Zane. If your run is good, concern yourself with Zane, not Zayn Malik. You know, I just can't stop talking about One Direction. See, this is what I was concerned about. So we're fighting Ragman for the second time. We've, like, immediately, if we don't get a battery charge for this, which we almost certainly will not, we have just inhibited ourselves to an enormous deal. Please let me out of here. We've just missed out on 2 item rooms, potential deal with the devil, and 2 boss items. Give me the battery. Oh, I really thought that it was going to give me the battery. We need to slow it the F down. But mind you, if you have a conspiracy theory like, oh, NL's just, he's trying to finish this run quick so he can go get some lunch. First off, you're a very astute judge of character. I'm a hungry boy right now, but I budgeted my time appropriately, so unless this episode takes 80 minutes, I got enough time to get lunch before I gotta get the NLSS started, okay? With the requisite 1 to 2 minutes of late that we always are, but... Why is the angry fly orbiting the shadow? It's a little strange. Anyway, how could you have possibly accused me of trying to rush this run when we've gotten error rooms on our only 2 plays of undefined? By the way, we got Eye of the Keeper or whatever. It's not Head of the Keeper. It's Eye of Greed, gold tiers. I have no idea what makes this different from Head of the Keeper. Maybe we should look it up, but it seems like one of those items that we might be able to just figure it out as we play. Anyway, this floor, and we're on the Depths 1. So, like, this is too fast to be on the Depths 1. I'll just own up to it right here. I'm going to tempt fate, because when you're going through hell, keep going. I'm not going to tempt fate yet, though. I want to go into the curse room and then teleport out to save ourselves the half spirit heart. In order to do... Oh, you're an idiot. In order to do this, though, it's very sensible for us to have a spirit heart first. So that's what I'm waiting on, is that potentiality. We might just want to go to our item room as well, but that would... You know, I'm embracing the role right now of, like, how many times could it possibly backfire on us? And I recognize that that answer is, you know, variable, but still. Also, it would be prudent for us to visit our shop. You know, we've gotten a lot of money out of Eye of the Keeper, or Head of the Keeper, whatever it's called. Just give me some special rooms. This is probably our secret room. Our secret room. I mean, oh, right. I forgot. Ghost Pepper actually destroys, statues? Wait a minute. I was like, I forgot about that thing that we're all aware of. And then I thought about it for 2 seconds, and I was like, I don't think that's actually something I knew in the first place. Well, they seem to want me to come this way, so I will, come as you are, as a friend, as I want you to be. Another great One Direction song. Butt bombs. Oh, you know what? Okay, now we gotta go to our shop. And we got all the tools to carry us here. So here's what you do. You go to the shop. You get a spirit heart. You go to the secret room and you go to the shop and there's no spirit heart for sale, but there will be a spirit heart for sale. Ace of Hearts. That's not particularly strong here. We really, really would like to get a spirit heart, so... Ancient Recall gives us 3 cards, I think, so I'm just gonna pop it. We got a 2 of Spades, Justice, and the Lovers. You got 12 cents. We could probably pretty easily get to 15 on this floor if we don't teleport, but I'll tell you what, I'm actually just gonna kind of go for broke on Spirit Hearts here. Even though, if we get money, I would love to I would love to buy Chaos, and ideally Steam Sale as well, but I think just stacking up Spirit Hearts was relatively intelligent there. Now what we're going to do is enact our plan from earlier, but actually before we enact our plan, I am going to go fight this mini-boss down here in the hopes of picking up maybe the virus? There's a couple good mini-boss items that I'd be stoked to have, but even just raw HP is fine by me. Honestly, we're extremely lucky with how this run started. Like, the seed of this run giving us Polyphemus. Were it not for that, we would be in, like, actual hell. That's great. Not actual hell. Well, I mean, maybe. I don't know. I think the selling point of hell is that it's bad. But I've never been there myself, you know? It's like someone goes to a town for a week and they go, oh, I hate this town, it's blah. And you're like, well, if you live there, you know, there's actually a pretty good sushi joint on commercial Broadway. It ain't all bad. Sure, I mean, the housing prices, but the winters are remarkably mild. Hey, don't hit me. No more. Okay, that one I basically walked into. All I ask for, and the run doesn't have to provide it for me. It's provided for me in a big way already, but I would love a good tiers upgrade. We're probably in a great spot regardless. Like, again, were it not for the fact that we started out of control strong here and actually largely kept it up despite the fact that we did end up, obviously, you know, losing a couple item rooms, boss rooms, potentially a deal with the devil, and certainly a shop as well. We're still killing it. Well, we're still doing okay. Our speed, actually, I don't think is high enough to get away from this. Oh my god, did you see? He shot out like a freaking supersonic man. Okay. Take this. Krampus, you better hook me up with lump of coal here. I don't want to fight you if I'm not getting a lump of coal out of it. You've made an enemy for the last time, my friend. Do we have no battery charges? I think we're just out. I think we're gone. Let's move. We got a strength card for maybe our next deal with the devil? I don't know. It's kind of a weird situation to be in. This floor is super weird as well, because we have had this happen before where we used undefined and it made it so we couldn't get to the Polaroid. You know, if you skip this boss fight, you don't get the Polaroid, and as a result, I mean, I guess now you could find an alternate path. That was pretty dumb. You could find an alternate path and get to the void, but I'd rather not be forced into doing that because it sounds terrible. Okay, we're that awful damage. Like, we're at like a 3 out of 10 level in terms of the quality of our play right now. And this is the true genesis, or epitome at least, of Northernlion luck. Is that we have a run where we can afford to play like garbage and still not be in a terrible situation, but let's not revel in that. Let's work past it, you know? It's like being a student, you know? There was a time in my life, I was mostly a pretty okay student. There's definitely, you know, a couple of years of my scholastic career that I fit that archetype of being like the clever kid. Oh, we screwed up our deal with the devil. The clever kid who doesn't apply himself. And when you're in, like, middle school, even high school, that seems like it's a mark of great personal pride, you know? You're like, everybody has to work harder than me to achieve the same results. But then if you work, like, a lot harder than me, you can achieve much better results. And that's the thing. I think the older you get, the less easy it is, and I'm not sure if we had a game crash here, the less easy it is to be proud of yourself for being average with below average effort, you know? And I'm not, that sounds like I'm making a case for like NL exceptionalism or something like, oh, I'm, you know, God's gift to earth, but I didn't realize it until I started trying. But no, like, everybody is good disproportionately at different things. I'm speaking specifically from a scholastic standpoint right here. You know, I know the archetype. A lot of people out there watching this are going to be, well, maybe not a lot, but some of you out there watching this probably remind me of myself at that age. You know, why would I put in an hour a night to get straight A's when I can get straight B pluses with no work? Well, the answer is because, you know, it's good to challenge yourself. It's good to keep yourself on your toes and constantly force... Okay, stop with the damage. Constantly force yourself to, you know, improve, and that only happens when you take yourself out of your comfort zone. Being comfortable is awesome, but I think being too comfortable can be like a curse as well. Happens all the time. You might say it won't happen to me, and it's possible, but saw many situations, in college especially, people who never learned like good study habits, and then all of a sudden classes are a lot harder to do well in, or even pass sometimes, and you're like, what do you mean I gotta study like 4 hours a week? Seems inconceivable. Anyway, this is getting too preachy. We've slowed down on this run a lot. I mean, part of that is inevitable because of the fact that, you know, we didn't skip 2 entire floors over and over. We only skipped 2 entire floors once. But we should take that as a sign that the run is not as powerful relative to the enemies as it used to be. So if we could freaking pop off, like, that would be good. First off, start playing better. Smarten up is the expression. Okay, we're gonna bomb it looking for 7-cent items. Otherwise, we'll probably just buy a bunch of spirit hearts. Or 1 spirit heart, because it seems like this thing's probably gonna get dusted soon. Come on, 7-cent good item. 7-cent good item. I don't care if we used all our bombs to make it happen. That's ice cold, man. That was ice cold what you did to me right there. I wish we could take the battery charge in with us. Obviously not plausible. Okay. Ghost Pepper, thank you. That was a very conveniently timed Ghost Pepper. Just keep yourself abreast of where Mom's gonna be here. That was not pun intended. Let's go. No deal, and that's completely fair, but easy boss rush access, which I didn't even consider until just now. Obviously, we want the Polaroid. Backstab, Spider Babby, Kamikaze, Tech X is not even close. It's actually, like, so important that we take Tech X here. Tech X Polyphemus is just absurdly good. Now, we're never going to get, like, a massively huge laser in all likelihood because of the fact that, I mean, you know, our rate of fire is not great, is the thing, but if anything gets touched by this laser, it's done and dusted. He has not done it, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Apparently, what you're supposed to do with this, and I've probably said this on occasion before, you're supposed to blow up the greed head in there, or the greed statue, and then if it gives you an item, then you use the reroll machine to reroll it. For the life of me, I can't put myself in the shoes of the developers on that one. It seems like a, you know, like a 1 in 30 kind of like gamble there. Not that the cost is high, but, you know, it doesn't seem like an obvious axis to improve yourself that much, is what I'm trying to get at. This is the run that is like... This run is like a trust fund, baby. No matter what we did, apparently it was impossible for us to die. If we had been in the average position on this run, we would have died 20 times over, right? But because we started with Polyphemus, it's the silver spoon in our mouth that makes it impossible for us to take a toke but don't choke. If you do, you get no clue what me and my homie Snoop Dogg came to do. It's like this and like that and like this and just walk on the creep. I'm actually so mad at myself. Infamy, great item, but like it's not worth the squeeze here. I do like this. Guppy, Sack Dagger is actually great as well. Guppy, Bob's Curse, not as good, but wouldn't kick it out of bed for eating crackers. So we did teleport. Honestly, kind of hurts because our deal with the devil chance was pretty high. How many ragmen are we gonna fight on this run? Like, this is getting absurd. Alright. Well, we also do not want to... in a way, I don't know whether I should ask for your support or apologize. You know, if I should be like, yeah, your boy NL found another error room. Or if I should be like, I'm so sorry that we keep finding error rooms. Because the run is... It's going too fast. It's fast enough that even our guaranteed win, it seems like dangerous. And that's no good. This might completely make a Hush fight, like, plausible and desirable, which is why I'm actually taking the time to do this right here, especially because we also do not have to shoot every poop individually, which is always, like, the big problem. But anyway, hoping for some luck upgrades. Plus, satisfying sound. Listen to this. Dude, that's nice. That has just revitalized my interest in Card Against Humanity right there. But yeah, like, I'm happy because we're getting those fringe payouts from Undefined, but I'm also, like, conscious of the fact that it's screwing us, so... I don't know, again, whether to kill you or kiss you on this run. We're at 18 minutes and probably, like, 4 rooms away from possibly going to the Hush fight with a run that is... Shouldn't have done that. With a run that is strong, but, you know, could be, like, a 10 out of 10. If we had just had a slightly different sort of value proposition here. But anyway, I mean, I'm not too cheesed off by it. We are still rolling Polyphemus Tech X. Can't spam the shots. Our rate of fire is not good enough to spam the shots. But still, 1 second, I got something in my eye here. Why do we get eye mucus? It's not like I'm indignant. I actually just don't know. Why do we get eye mucus? I know we got mucus in there. You know, it's a tear duct or something. Lol, bio degree. Don't even start with me. That meme's starting to get me genuinely salty, man. Because not because it implies that I am stupid or that I have a joke degree or something like that. Because, you know, I'm self-confident. I know what it took to get the degree. The answer is largely showing up to class and studying a lot for the exams. It wasn't like I had to live as like a POW for a while. I mean, it's an undergraduate degree. It's not that absurd. But because it's unfair to the education system, man. Whenever I don't know if this is true for like other degrees. There's probably some of them, but like for biology, people ask you all these random questions, and if you don't know the answer to them, they go, you know, oh, what'd you study in school? It's getting crazy, you know. Oh, well, I've got like a rash on my elbow. What's this? Oh, I don't know. Why don't you Google it? Lol, bio degree. Why don't you go see a doctor? I thought that's what you got. No, you don't understand. These are two very different things. You get the biology degree when you plan to go to med school, and then when the plans fall through, you finish it up. It's largely a lot of like, I'll look that up in the scientific record. Am I getting like a Steam message? This feels like my game's slowing down like crazy right now. I don't want battery charges, if possible. Because I mean, I guess maybe I do want battery charge. I'll tell you what, we'll let God sort them out. I don't know what it's called. I just know the sound it makes when it takes a run's life. First off, we'll get a deal with the devil here, so we want to peep that. And it can't be Krampus, which is just even more exciting. Are we going to do Hush, or are we going to skip Hush? That depends on our teleportation. Okay, I think we take a Thame, then we teleport. We got an error room, so we're going up to the cathedral, boys. Which I think might be merciful for me, but at the same time, we're going to fight Hush, boys. If the door's still open, boys. I don't know why I keep saying boys, boys. And now I've morphed it into a very strange accent, boys. It's not evocative of any culture, but at the same time... Oh, we're going to take I'm Drowsy against Hush. No. Yeah, I mean... Oh, okay, here's the thing. Yera, we all love Yera. We all know what it does. We can go one run without using Yera in the way we always use Yera to double the chest items to see how I'm Drowsy does against Hush. Because I'm Drowsy genuinely is a 10 out of 10 against Delirium. So if it's like a 9 out of 10 against Hush, then we can save this as a worthwhile pill. I am so turned around. Okay. Is that I think it's a rock tinted right there. Let's flip and go. Okay. Oh. Please. I just want to exit the floor. Just take me away. Okay. Down to the next floor. But yeah, like, I'm gonna be honest with you. And like, some of you watching this might be doing a biology degree Maybe you just applied for college to be a biology major or something like that. I'm not trying to say like, hey, nice one, big mistake, idiot. But an undergraduate degree, you know, these days, doesn't seem like it's worth as much as it was back when, you know, during our parents' generation, where you get, you know, you get a high school diploma, here's, you know, a job that pays you the national average salary with, like, plenty of room for upward momentum and stuff like that. I'm not trying to dredge that up again. Still, Sad Bomb's Holy Mantle, by the way, great pickups here. But a biology degree is not a professional degree by itself. It doesn't qualify you for that much on its own merits. That doesn't mean it's a worthless degree to get at all. I think we're good to go here. It just means that, like, you know, if you are an engineer, you get a degree in civil engineering, you can get a job, you know, as probably like a junior engineer when you get out of college. With a biology undergrad, it's like you've qualified yourself to, you know, be a lab assistant or to get a master's in biology, you know, at which point then you can do research and, you know, eventually. I'm pretty sure that undergraduate biology degrees largely go to people that are going to be biology professors when they're older, but anyway, that's not necessarily a bad thing. People have this idea that, like, all right, today, what's your first year schedule in biology? Well, first I have, does this animal have hooves? That's the first class, and then finally, we move on to, are amoebas sentient? And then, please, not now. Not now. Close that message. Then we move on to, is this symptom symptomatic of cancer? You know? It's not really what it is. You spend a lot of time instead being like, this is a liverwort, this is a hornwort, this is a nitrogen-fixing legume, you know? There's a lot of botany. A lot of taxonomy. A lot of cultivating agar on the plates and then growing, you know, bacteria on them and then, you know, doing metabolic analysis. I'm not trying to discourage you, you know? An education in biology. I feel like the next generation coming up, because we're already lost, you got a responsibility to not be snobby about science, engineering, and, you know, technical stuff. STEM. I forget what the M stands for. Mechanical? I don't know. The point is, no matter what you take in university, for the most part, and I feel the need to come over the top here, because my colleagues sometimes are very anti-school, and I understand that they have different scholastic experiences than me that grew up in a different country to begin with, and I can't speak for the American education system, but I'm not cynical about school. It helps that, you know, tuition in Canada is like 1/8 of what it is at a lot of American schools, but anyway. Point is, the number one thing I learned in university unrelated to my degree, you know, skepticism, but healthy skepticism, not just being cynical, but being like, you know, when you see reporting about science, now I'm like, probably there's a scientist back there that's like, please don't say that this is a cure for cancer. And then they go, a possible cure for cancer found. If you rub peanut butter on your genitals, in rats it shrunk, you know, 1/8 of one tumor by 2%, you know. That and a respect for hard work and just doing the work, you know. Those are the big things. And honestly, that's, you know, that plus independent living is probably the most important lesson I learned in college. Go to class, do the work. Because if you don't, like, basically, not to be rude, but people will just, unlike high school, they just don't care. Like in high school, if you don't show up for class, the teacher's gonna go freaking wild on you. Or sorry, your parents are gonna go freaking wild on the teacher. You know, they're gonna be like, how did you let my son or daughter do so badly? And the teacher's like, well, they don't do the work, they don't show up to class. And they're like, well, that's your job to teach them. And then literally like 2 months later, they might be in college. If they flunk out, you know, that's on them. So, you know, there's a degree of personal responsibility that becomes important there, because the professors, they don't even want to teach some of the time. Some of them are fantastic, but some of them are like, I really just want to be in my dark lab for the rest of my life, but in order to do that, you know, I've got to teach introduction to calculus 3 times a year to kids who don't want to be here and who think that they're adults because they can walk out of the class at any time without consequence. Anyway, it's getting a little too preachy, perhaps. I have a respect for school, and I want you to as well. I want you to have a healthy respect for it without being a flippin' keener, you know? Probably not. It's a Canadianism. A keener is a brown noser. Wait, what? It's like June? Yeah, I mean, it is like... It's the right time to be talking about this, because many of you will be going to, you know, your first year of post-secondary education next year. I give these tips every summer, and nobody listens, because it's human nature. I wouldn't have listened either. College is real simple. Try to have fun, but also, like, go to class. Go to every class. You're going to say, oh, it's not reasonable to go to every class. Yeah, but if you plan to go to every class, then you'll probably only skip, like, 10%. Proptosis, Gimpy, Magic Mush, Kidney Bean. Again, we don't deserve what we've been granted on this run, but, like, I'm the happiest camper regardless. We don't deserve to have 55 damage. We played so badly. And yet here we are, stomping on enemies. Ooh, but my rate of fire is kind of bad. I don't even know what to say about this run. Like, this is just such a strange run. So many times, well, this is a little self-inflating. I was gonna say so many times I play well and I'm just not given the tools to reasonably have a chance to succeed, and that is true to some extent. Dude, I love when you pick up Eden's Blessing as like the capstone to an already excellent run. But anyway, capstone, nice word. This run is the complete opposite of that. It's exceptional, and we have no reason to have been granted this. But that's life, you know? Sometimes Bill Gates wins the lottery. Bill Gates strikes me as the kind of guy who doesn't play the lottery, but, you know, the example holds. And we are Bill Gates winning the lottery here. But that Judas run, like 4 runs ago, that was not Bill Gates winning the lottery. You know, that was like Hans Moleman getting hit in the groin with a football again and again and again. Are you gonna give me Delirium? You're not? I kind of want to, if I'm being honest. Like, I don't think there's any way for us to create it out of the ether. Oh, health down. Okay, now our luck's equal, so it's all good. Just hit me, I don't care. Well, it was a great run. It was both a short and a long run. It's like longer than you'd expect given that we were on the depths 1 at 6 minutes, and shorter than you would think from the get-go. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future, and thanks as always for your support. I did talk about like the future of Isaac a few episodes ago. I'm just waiting for that backlog to percolate out, basically, and then people will be like, I only want to see 1 run a day. Start over a new file, and then I can tabulate those results anecdotally and make a decision. But it might be a few more days still before that happens. But anyway, for now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. I'll see you next time.